GSL 시즌2 코데스.
It's time for the winners match to decide who will survive Group B in the round of 32 of the GSL Code S. It's going to be ByuL versus Ryung. Two players who've been playing very well since the start of 2017. I feel like Ryung is in the best form he's ever been in, but I do believe it will be very difficult for him to take out a player like ByuL.
He certainly had a hard time in Super Tournament, which is the last place that they met. ByuL was able to 3-1 Ryung, and it wasn't, how do we say, pretty. ByuL massively out-macroed him in every, I guess, quote-unquote, normal macro game.
Sure.
Whereas Ryung's one victory was just like rallying Hellions into Hellbats and just barely broke ByuL at the end of the day on Whirlwind there. So, yeah, I look at this and I feel like this, like, Ryung's skill sets aren't really made to kill the, like, basically best mechanical Zerg, right?
Right.
So that's I'm fearful for Ryung. He has to bring something special, I think, strategically, because we've never, ever in his career seen him do things like Mario Innovation can do as far as the rally pushes and stuff that can just kill a Zerg like this.
Yeah. I don't know. With Ryung playing so weird, in the first series we had, by the way, if you missed those games, guys, oh my God, you got to see them.
Yeah.
They were so cool. Let's see if he does something unorthodox this time around. Expect anything. We are now going to the winners match. Ryung versus ByuL in the GSL Code S. In the bottom right, in the blue, he is
TES Gaming, Ryung.
So if this is, we're approaching 3,500-ish matches.
Yeah.
First.
In the upper left.
There you go.
Yo.
I don't want to take away your thunder, Tasus.
This is
part of the game
my favorite part of the whole cast,
Yeah.
Artosis. I'm like, watch this, guys. I know all four of the directions. Like, top right, bottom right, throw anything at me.
Each of these matches was at least a best of 3, right? Some were best of 5, some were best of 7s. So that means that, like, we've had at minimum, right, like 7,000 games played in GSL.
Yeah.
And, I mean, obviously it could be quite a large number. I don't know how many it is. I'm just saying that's like, damn, there's been a lot of matches in GSL.
I wonder if we could factor together how many hours of Code A and Code S there's been.
At least 1 million.
A million, a billion, I don't know. No one's for sure, but it's somewhere between there.
It's at least 1 million hours,
Yeah.
Tasus. Someone's like, humans only live for 10,000 hours or something. I'm like, oh, no.
So we have the command center coming down here. So far, everything looks normal. I'm reluctant to say that Ryung's playing a normal game so far, though, just because it looks like it.
Well,
he's done so much crazy stuff so far.
He's skipping a Reaper while he's going into second barracks, so maybe it'll be something like Reactor, go into double medevac, stim drop, something like that. We'll see.
I thought you said Raptor for a second instead of Reactor. It's like, oh, he's making Raptors, Artosis. They know how to open doors.
Once upon a time, I did competitively play an RTS game that had Raptors in it.
What game was that?
It was called Paraworld.
Was it any good?
It was okay. It had 3 races. There were dinosaurs and laser guns in the same video game. Okay, it was weird. It was weird, but they had this big tournament, and so I'm like, oh, I'll play this. And so I practiced for a little bit, and I registered for the tournament.
Yeah.
And I actually used a race that no one else used in the tournament. I used like the Nordic people because there was like
the
there
Vikings
was, yeah, it was basically like Vikings, and I made a very abusive build. And I was just crushing through the tournament, just basically rushing Zealots at everybody because like no one was a good RTS player, basically.
Yeah.
And then someone made the equivalent of a Bane lane. Like I was killing his base, and then this guy holding a pot, popped out of the building and blew up and killed all of my units. So I lost game 1. I'm like, oh, okay. He barely got that before I killed him. I'll just kill the building this came out of. So I do the build again.
Yeah.
I kill the building. Oops, it was the wrong building. It popped out of a different building, and I didn't realize, and he killed my stuff.
You haven't played the game enough.
Yeah, so
that's funny.
anyways, the end of this story, Tasteless, is I think I got like top 16 or something in this tournament, and they refused to send me my prize, which was going to be a metal dinosaur skull, because they were a European company. I was in America, and they said no.
Wow.
Because I was the only non-European in the tournament.
Artosis, it's okay. You're a successful person
So
now.
the guys
You can
who
buy
made
your own
Paraworld-
dinosaur skull.
Yeah, you guys that made Paraworld, if you're watching GSL right now, you still owe me a dinosaur skull made out of metal, and you suck. So there you go.
Wow. Such injustice,
Yeah,
man.
such injustice.
Such injustice
True
right there.
story right there, yeah.
Wow.
A lot of built-up rage when I think about that dinosaur skull that could have been at my mom's house right now collecting dust.
Wow. That's a great story, Artosis.
Yeah, no, there you go. And look at this. We almost have the Medivacs and Stim, so we can almost talk about things.
Yeah. Well, sometimes this match.
Next time I tell that story, I'll make it a little longer.
No problem. Looks like he's going to get double engineering bay here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that common. I mean, sorry, not that uncommon of a follow-up to this double Medivac Stim. He'll go into his third command center very soon now as well.
Yeah, he's definitely invested in a longer game. He might try to win this when he's at 2-2.
The Lings, he's 1,000,000,000% what's going on. He pretty much already knew anyways, but a lot of Lings being produced. I didn't get to see, because I was talking to you, Tasteless, exactly how many queens he has, though. And that's like, I prefer, if you're going like Lingbane Queen to defend against this build, I really like the way that Dark does it. He'll get 5 or 6 queens and just target Medivacs when you come in. Oh,
you
is
ever
that
play
5 or 6? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. He's in good shape here.
Yeah.
So he's basically just going in and trying to kill anything he can see. This is pretty normal for any Terran to do. You try to push in and just kill off creep tumors. The creep areas where you want to try to fight, not on top of it, but you want to try to kill the tumors. Excuse me. You want to try to kill the tumors and push them back. The Zerg has to respond to this by using the queens to hit the Medivacs. And reducing that, and ideally if you can pick those off, you're in good shape. And Terran just runs away. Sometimes Zerg hemorrhage so many Lings here. Like if Innovation's playing, this is super common. The Zerg just hemorrhage enough units that suddenly the Terran can do a lot more damage and ends up bopping the Zerg. But I don't think that's going to happen this time around. Not against ByuL, at least.
No, he's doing well, though. Like, poking up this ramp, he's removed some creep tumors. He picked a queen off already. He's kind of making it an area where the surface area of Zerg is not going to come into play. So I like what ByuL is trying to do with this. Or rather, Ryung is trying to do with this. ByuL, on the other hand, he got a very quick +1 carapace, so that's kind of helpful. Getting Baneling's speed now and a macro hatch, so not too bad. But Ryung is playing a nice opener this game.
Ryung really, you could see he trusts his ability and what he does here. Because, he did those crazy builds, which, there was a high risk that those wouldn't have worked out in the games against Deer. And then this time he's just going to play a really solid macro game. I mean, he wants revenge against ByuL for what happened in the Super Tournament. Yeah,
hell, I hope he can get it the way he's been playing. That 1-1 is finishing up for him right now as well, so that's going to give him 1 upgrade advantage here over the Zerglings.
Okay, he's coming in again. He wants those creep tumors. Wow, he's just going to try to push straight forward. Look at this.
Yeah, he's picking off quite a few queens here.
ByuL's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, not letting those Banelings actually hit him right now.
Whoa, he got all the Banes.
Pretty sick.
Oh, this is sick, Ryung. The rabies Terran, he's just coming in. More Banelings are coming up. He doesn't care.
Oh, my God. He is actually...
Whoa!
I take it all back. Like, he can't do what that Innovation and Maru does.
Oh, my God.
Jeez, that was good. That was
taking him down to Bop Town.
Yeah. That was really
Ryung.
fun.
You can even see that I was saying he's going to come up here and try to kill the creep tumor. And it's like, there's a period where you see ByuL's not moving an army, and then suddenly ByuL's like, oh my God, wait a minute, he's actually going for this.
Well, he really abused that little choke right there, even getting all the creep right off the bat, so ByuL couldn't defend at the bottom of that ramp.
Look at ByuL. ByuL's like, I just won the longest best of 3 ever to lose to that.
Yeah. And that's a build that ByuL, of course, has to play against a lot. Damn, Ryung is just, like, changing my mind about everything I said about him earlier, right? Because when we saw him play previously, that is what we saw. He just got overpowered, but he's brought the correct build in this game. Number 1, he has dismantled ByuL, didn't even make it close. And ByuL is shaky.
Yeah, ByuL was shaking, man. Well, that's not how you're supposed to lose, not in GSL Code S.
And ByuL just got wrecked. Yeah, and he does not want to play one of these Protosses again, man. I tell you that much.
Wow. Game number 2 is going to be on Daybreak. This tends to make for a longer game, but let's see. In the upper right, in the blue, he is
TES Gaming, Ryung.
in the bottom left, in the red, he is
ByuL.
Man, that last game, that was crazy.
Yeah,
Feels like it's okay, I've got banelings, and Ryung's like, look at this, and he just clicks them all down.
Yeah, it was super well done.
My
Very
Marines
impressed.
have guns.
Well, that's unfair. Zerglings don't have guns.
The banelings need guns.
Yeah.
Got little Uzis on them. They're just spraying stuff down as they blow up.
Imagine if Zerglings were ranged units.
Yeah.
That would be wild. You got to balance it. All has to do with numbers. Shut up.
I'm posting on the Battle.net forums right now. Siege tanks in siege mode need to hit air units.
Clearly. Oh, my
Clearly.
God. Imagine that.
It's not realistic
Wall of
enough
those
for me.
things.
Thanks for coming down, man. Hope you're enjoying the games.
Yes, everyone is. Today is a great set of games. And to even see that, which I would have considered an upset, ByuL just smashing through. Or Ryung
smashing through,
ByuL.
yeah.
Throwing me off a bit. But yeah, that was so well done. Will he be able to do something like that again? Opening up with a Reaper this time, but adding that second barracks as well. So could be the same type of build.
Overlord coming in. Certainly ByuL is going to be shaken after that last last game.
Well, he was shaking.
Yeah, that's
literally.
true.
Like
yeah, that was. Well,
it's probably just adrenaline. It's not like he's afraid or anything.
No,
but
of course, but it's like
I think that loss probably caught him off guard. That's not something he's going to lose to very much.
It happens so fast that it's almost hard to process, and then you're like, oh my god, he just he poked in and it went so well, it snowballed. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Ryung just tries to test the waters again.
It looks like he might be doing the exact same build.
Yeah.
This is the opener for it.
Was he done with 1-1 when he attacked?
Yes, that final attack.
Okay, so that was like a 1-1 timing. Okay.
Yes. And again, you're not really supposed to die to that. It can be very hard to defend, especially we saw great micro. He kept his medevacs far back enough and targeted the banelings down. The surface area there was tiny. He can't do that same surface area move here as well. Because, like, even the distance to your actual hatchery on Abyssal from that little choke is tiny. Here, yeah, there's a somewhat small choke. It's not as small going up to the natural, but then the actual hatchery is far enough away that it doesn't play out like that here. Evolution Chamber coming up from ByuL. Probably going to grab that carapace once again as well.
So, let's see if this game could be the same as the game before. It seemed almost as if it was about, 2 or 3 seconds before ByuL really registered, like, he's actually under attack. Ryung is not going to back up. I think the only person that comes to mind that's able to do that, though, is Innovation. I don't feel like, maybe we've seen TY do it once or oh, no, yeah, I'm sorry, ByuL
and Innovation, I would say, are the guys who really utilize that build.
But I would say ByuL wins a lot of games that look just like that, where he's just, like, really good at controlling, and it doesn't. Sometimes the strategies didn't seem to matter as much as we thought they did. He's just like really, really good at not losing any units. But with this specific poking build, yeah, I mean, gosh, Ryung is just a play. This guy. I know that not everybody that's been watching StarCraft has been watching this for Is this game been out for 6 years or 7 years? By the way.
Okay.
We almost at 7.
Beta came out in February of 2010, and the game was released August or so.
Did we cast the first tournament in beta, or was it in? I actually don't remember.
No. The first GSL was right after release.
Okay.
It was the second big tournament, or third big tournament.
Not everybody's been watching since the beginning, but in the very first GSL, Ryung was in our tournament. He was being mentored by Slayer's Boxer, who's one of the greatest Brood War players of all time, especially in the early days. And he was always really good, but he's never gone away, and he's seemed to just get better and better and better. And from the people I've talked to, this guy trains really hard, and it seems like this is like the best he's been. Like when we were at IEM in Poland, I actually thought he was going to win. He was playing so well. And he almost did. He got super deep in that tournament.
He's been playing very well for a bit now, and that last season he was looking great also.
Oh my god.
Ooh, Ryung getting met way further out, but utilizing that surface area against the Lings, so good here. Targets a queen down.
Dude, he
lost
almost got
3
2
Marines.
queens. Yeah.
3 Marines and a Reaper, I think, is what the losses might tally to right there. Wow. Once again, a very good move. He's making more medevacs, more Marines, getting that 1-1. The same build coming out of Ryung.
Yeah. It's not broken, don't fix it. Going for the same style of play again. He looked really scary. I mean, he nearly gunned down 2 queens, and he's going to come in again.
Okay, he's going to have to hold this off. Oh, targeting down that queen very quickly. Nice transfusion and pull away, though.
Look at this guy's engages. He's so sick.
Yeah.
Man.
It's extremely well done. I do have to say at least one semi-critical thing of ByuL. He's not actually... Like, he's engaging with smaller queen amounts than Dark does. Like, Dark just... I feel like Dark crushes this build in particular very well. And it's always 5 or 6 queens in a nice, perfect arc from the angle that they're coming in, so they can all fire.
Properly prioritizes the medevacs really well, where it seems like ByuL's queens are kind of haphazardly placed.
It feels that way a little bit, yeah.
And
it doesn't seem as clean.
We don't want to be too critical of him because it's not easy. But now hold on, 1-1's done. Let's see what
this is
Ryung
that same attack. Look at this 1-1 is finishing right at this moment. All right, this is the initial little poke-in.
He's trying to get the armies to reposition.
And he still wants that 1-1. He doesn't have it yet.
Okay, he has to pick up. There's nowhere to run there. Is he just going to make a beeline into the main?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, there it is. The
Could even fake the main and go back towards that 4th that got put down. Okay, starting to drop off in the main base. Going to make everything run up here. Sees those Banelings incoming. Knows how long he has. There's not enough queens here to really threaten the medevac, so he can pick up at any time.
And near perfect.
Yeah, loses just a few Marines up there. Really forcing ByuL to run around a lot, but ByuL isn't taking any massive damage from this at the moment.
Looks like he's actually going to try to fakey it back into the main here. I don't think it's going to work. Medevac's low on boost.
Baneling's speed is done right now as well.
See, notice how he targeted the Baneling, and with the surface area, the Lings can't quite get a good surround there. Now, keep in mind, Zerg's losing like a lot of Zerglings in this whole process.
It's very true. He's not killing that
overall,
much either.
I would say that Zerg survived the 1-1 timing. Like, he's okay.
And he finished up his own 1-1 as well. So they're even on upgrades at the moment. ByuL is able to really get his macro going a bit better. Ryung is taking his 3rd base, but the 4th is on the way here for ByuL and almost done. He's getting a Spire also, and that's where ByuL really starts to find his stride. He is a Mutalisk guy.
Yeah, and I think when the Mutalisks are out, serious drop over here.
Yeah, he's not messing around right now. But with that Baneling speed, he's very quick to come up and counter this.
Well, he's going to try to bro these Widow Mines. Oh, good counterattack. That's how you punish a Terran who's being a little bit too active on the map.
13 SCVs going down, and this drop is really dealt with very well. This is another thing that ByuL is just so good at, getting those counterattacks off.
Well, it's a great way to handle a Terran that's in your face. If you're seeing this much of his army attacking you, he doesn't have that much at home.
No.
So those Lings could have easily been picked off by what Ryung had. My concern, though, is that Ryung is just going to continue to push. He's had a lot of really scary engages. Let's see how well he controls a much larger army.
He has a lot of extra units right now. He's kind of cleaning out that 3rd, and I think he'll come meet up because 2-2 is about to finish. So now is as good a time as ever. If you have a 2-upgrade advantage and you can target down those Banes, the Lings will evaporate. There's about 12 mutas out right now, though, and that is something he has to look out for.
Yeah, he couldn't get any good targets there.
ByuL is counterattacking the natural. A lot of Zerglings getting in here. Ryung very much on top of it, though, stimming some Marines immediately.
Okay, I actually think this is starting to go to ByuL here.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Yeah, ByuL is just playing around what Ryung's trying to do here. This is actually working out brilliantly.
Look at these mutas. He gets such a big flock of mutas and just starts hitting harassment everywhere. These little groups of Marines cannot fight against. He's even getting +1 for him. Lings and Banes trying to hold on against this just Marine Widow Mine.
He's coming forward now. Oh, man. Well, he lost a lot of infantry, but now that his army's been reduced, he's controlling this decently well. Yeah. He's just not quite able to target that. Well,
but the mutas are on top of his production right now.
Okay, I think ByuL did it.
Yeah.
Yep, GG. Good response there from ByuL.
Yeah, this is a more normal-looking game from ByuL on a lot of these maps. If he can hold on against that early on, he hits his stride suddenly. He gets the mutas out. He starts hitting his counterattacks. He has Baneling speed, and you can't really hurt him as much with these attacks.
That was really well done by ByuL. That's a player who knows how to adapt. That's why we've seen ByuL have so much success. Now, Ryung is hungry. He can just win one game. This problem is done.
Yeah.
He's out of the round of 32. He had some great strategies set up. He had a very good showing in game 1 against ByuL. Obviously, he totally outwitted Deer back there. But, you know, how many builds are in his toolkit is the question.
Okay.
And what's his stamina going to be like?
Well, I think it's one build. It's this one build that he's been doing because the next map is Frost, and this is a great map for that. Taking your 4th base against his double medevac is super tough. Well, the 3rd base is tough, right? Do you take it where they have a ledge to shoot your drones, or do you take it where it's super far away down a ramp?
Man, I don't know who's going to take this. I definitely think ByuL has a shot because you know, he'd adapted in game 2. I'm not sure if Ryung is going to be over-aggressive here. It does seem like ByuL has a little bit of weakness in those first few engages, but I don't know. Anyways, guys, this is our final game between these two. A fight for the round of the 16. In the bottom left, in the blue, he is
TES Gaming, Ryung.
his opponent in the upper left in the red. He is
ByuL.
Time to see what will Ryung be pulling out. Again, wouldn't be too surprised if he goes for that same type of build. Zergs in the past have had trouble against specifically that build here. I guess that's kind of when the build was gaining popularity, when this map was, you know, still a big map in the pool last year.
That's a good point.
It's funny seeing these maps rotated back in, by the way, especially as the meta changes and the balance
I think
changes.
it's a good idea to bring back some of the old maps and just see what happens.
Yeah.
Some of the old maps that weren't just like basically bad maps. I think when we started out with StarCraft 2, like at the very, very beginning, some of the maps weren't, you know, great. Thanks for coming down, guys. We've had some good games here today, Artosis.
God, this is the best day of GSL so far this season.
Yeah. Out of all 2 days we've had.
Yeah. And day 1 was not a sleeper. It was a good day, too.
That's right. It's kind of fun doing this on a Saturday
I like this.
afternoon.
I'm going to go home after this, and my family's going to still be awake, which is kind of nice.
Oh, yeah?
The sun is still going to be up.
Yeah, that's always
Those are
weird
neat things
for us.
for me. Those are neat things for me.
Sometimes we come in the studio and it's nice and sunny out, and then when suddenly I leave. It's 11 p.m. at night here in Seoul, and I'm in the city of Blade Runner. You know.
Yeah, and I go home and I'm like, God, I should sleep, but I'm kind of wired from drinking coffee and casting StarCraft.
Yeah. That's the problem I have is we drink caffeine when we do this to try to stay on top of our game, and then I'm like laying in bed at 3 a.m. and I'm like, oh, I guess I can't sleep. This is cool. This is definitely the adult replacement of Saturday morning cartoons.
Definitely.
Do you have Saturday anime? You got the Sci-Fi Channel when you were younger?
Yeah. Well, no, it was the Cartoon Network, right? And they had Toonami. That's how I watched it.
I saw that too. Before that, there was Saturday Anime. That's where I saw a bunch of animes that terrified me because I was really young. Like I saw Akira.
Oh,
that messed my brain up.
For a little kid, that would be.
Yeah.
That would be a tough
Watch
one.
what happened to Tetsuo there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God! My brother's like hiding behind the couch. I'm like, I'll tell you when it's not scary, but I'm already scared myself. But now this is great. Weekend, day of esports.
Yeah. Well, what Saturday morning cartoons were your favorite, Tasteless?
That wasn't like the cool anime stuff that I would watch. No, I watched Ninja Turtles, Pirates of Dark Water.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Trying to think of what else. Batman. The Batman cartoon was good.
Yeah, that was
very
favorite.
good. Yeah,
I love that one. Jackie Chan Adventures. I love that one too. I don't know.
I don't think I saw that one. I think I missed that one.
That was great. I was a big Jackie Chan fan.
How can you not be? That guy's a legend.
Yeah.
That guy's a god.
A literal god.
A literal god, Tasteless. No, that guy's so good.
Yeah. Very fun times.
It's hard to accomplish more than what that guy did.
I know.
So.
Same build.
Same build.
Like from both sides. Kind of important that that first creep tumor was killed off by the Reaper. That was a great snipe by Ryung, I want to point out. It's really delaying the creep getting to the third base, which is going to make holding this build a little bit harder.
It's something to take note of because a lot of times a few creep tumor assassinations early on explain what happens later on in the game.
Yeah,
this is like another thing that Zerg has to do. Zerg has to have creep spread.
Oh, he's changing up his build, Tasteless. I really like this change as well. Going one engineering bay, adding another barracks. I think he'll add even more barracks. I think he's just going to do two base all in.
Yeah.
And on this map, I actually quite like this choice. If he just has like +1 in a million billion Marines, and the creep is not like super well spread, that third base, you go up on the high ground, like the Queens and Lings and Banes can't get up there because you won't really have creep up there. Look at the amount of Lings that are being made. ByuL is taking this super seriously.
So the brilliance behind a style of play like what Ryung's doing is it can on the surface look like the exact same build, but there's a bit of an alteration there.
Yeah.
And if Zerg miscalculates, the Zerg gets tipped over.
Okay, he's got these 5 queens. The creep spread is actually quite nice at that third base so far. We'll see what Ryung can do against it. Baneling Nest and Lair on the way. He really wants to get Baneling speed. If he gets that without taking economic damage, then ByuL is in a position where I think a lot of times he just takes the lead. But look at that, 2 more barracks on the way. This is that 2-base heavy Marine all in.
So he's coming in here. He's hoping that Zerg will bleed off some units. Seems like ByuL's being very conservative though.
Yeah, he wants to get rid of as much creep as possible. There's a good amount of tumors though, so he's having a hard time with it. Plenty of Lings.
By the way, just a little subtle thing. If you notice, the way he chucks their grenades always makes the Queens align improperly.
Yeah.
So that one is in the front, and he gets for an easy pick. It's so cool to see that we're at this point in time where they know exactly how to chuck the Queen towards them.
Yeah. Especially if we had Reapers used a little bit more mid-game. Like, we've seen it a couple times, but I don't think it was necessarily on purpose. Like, multiple grenades making the Queens bounce all the way to you and stuff. Ooh, that was a really good hold right there by ByuL.
Okay, he's dropping here now. Another pickup. Now notice that ByuL's really come out to occupy the map. Yeah, he's saying, no, get back home.
Yeah. He wants him to unload all the way back home.
Terran's on a curfew right now, Artosis.
Yeah. This is really well done by ByuL, and look at how big his creep spread is getting during all this. He just made him lift up once, chased underneath with the Lings, and like, look at how far away Ryung is to walk up here. He's actually gotten almost nothing done with this push.
Yeah, so he had to go all the way back. The creep spread's getting bigger and bigger. Oh, ByuL's so good.
Yeah, he's really brought it all together right now.
This is why ByuL's had more success than, I mean, this is really highlighting this here against Ryung, is that like, this guy really is like,
wow,
adapting so well.
He's even going into Hydralisk Den, so very different from before. He's coming around for the high ground. This is still a situation which can be very dirty for ByuL to try to deal with. Gets rid of that creep tumor on the high ground. Still quite a bit of creep here. Baneling speed just barely outdone.
The surround's really good.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, there was a lot of Terran units hemorrhage there. That was a good engage there by the Zerg. And you notice how he goes well off the creep, because a lot of Terrans, they'll scoot back like one screen length off and try to unload and then re-rally. And in fact, I think that might have been a strategical blunder there by Ryung to go all the way to the top, because he couldn't re-rally more troops.
That is true. He really needed to get something done right there. He wasn't able to. As these he has these Widow Mines. So if he gets some good connections, something nice can happen. But the Hydralisk addition here it's coming up. And that's where he's just going to start rolling through what Ryung has.
Okay, but Ryung's got a decent spread. He's not quite clearing this creep out. I think he might be short on scans. Like he could scan and kill a lot of creep. Okay, good pick off. Now what Zerg wants to do is wait as long as possible, because Zerg's going to get a very scary army. Terran's trying to draw the whoa. He's got to pull those Banelings back.
Good spread on these Widow Mines. Queen's still pushing everything back.
He might actually just activate the push up here. Whoa. Okay, Widow Mine had a very good connect there on the Banelings. The other Banelings are going to come in. He should kite these backwards.
Oh boy, this is a lot of Banelings coming in. Let's see what these connections look like from the landmines. It looks like, well, Ryung is losing most everything, Tasteless. This is not good for him.
Yeah,
even his medevac count is down to almost nothing.
He's punted the army all the way back, and that's all that Zerg has to do, guys. He's just now he goes back and macros up. There's actually a hatchery at the very far upper right. I don't think we got a shot of it yet, but he's expanding along with this, and Terran is like actually not set up to be in a stronger position if the longer this game goes on compared to games 1 and 2 for the builds he was doing.
This was basically an all-in. He hasn't really spent a ton of money on upgrades. He doesn't have a third command or even a third base at this moment. And his tech is now out-teched. That's Hydras with upgrades and Lings and Banes with speed. He's lost a bunch of his medevacs.
Oh, he doesn't.
Ryung is almost dead. Like, he needs something miraculous now.
Oh, well, that's good. Is he going to be able to get this? Yeah. I guess there's nothing up here. That's actually something.
If that Overlord lands, he's screwed.
Okay, well, that was... I guess everything that ByuL did was great until the little army just actually picked off the hatchery. There was nothing there defending it, really. It seems like he was very much so caught up in making sure that the harass did nothing at all.
Just overmaking the Lings to chase under the medevacs and make them offload so far back gave him so much time and so much flexibility. Now he's even going into Lurker tech, taking a page out of Solar's book here.
So the push is coming up now. Again, it does not have the same momentum as anything else we've seen from Ryung. It seems almost like ByuL is having a little bit of a harder time controlling his army. He's trying to get this spanned out so that it's just completely undesirable for the Terran to engage. Now, there was some units hemorrhage there.
He lost a few, but this army, like, this is not the counter to Lingbane Hydra. Marine Mine is not that, so he is going to have to lure these Banelings in very hardcore. Here we go, the Banelings rolling in. Oh, good splits. And that is just too much, man. That is...
Yeah, this is... Zerg won the war this time around. Look at that. Terran can run all the way to the bottom of the map. He's not going to be able to kite that many units. GG! ByuL is our first survivor in tonight's GSL Codas. Nicely done.
Yeah, very good series out of ByuL there, especially after the very quick and dominating win of Ryung in Game 1. ByuL just pulls it all together and ends up taking it down.
Nice. Look, ByuL played very, very well. Ryung definitely still has a shot of getting out of this group.
Yeah.
But that's got to be a frustrating moment. I don't disagree with his strategic decision to alter the build slightly, but ByuL is an adaptable player, and that's the one who's going to move on.
I think I get why he did it. You know, if you don't kill ByuL pretty quickly there, it's a big map, and ByuL is very good at counterattacking while being attacked. I think it probably would have gotten outside of the skill set that Ryung generally shows in TDZs to deal with like the mass mutas and the Lings running around. So I appreciate what he tried to do there in that game, and he definitely, you know, kind of threw ByuL off or tried to by using a build that looked very similar to games 1 and 2. All right, interview time.
감사합니다.
네, 자 16강 진출했습니다. 자, 먼저
ByuL
소감
advances to
들어볼게요.
the round of 16.
사실 오늘도 컨디션이 너무 안 좋아서
네.
그래서 첫 경기
How do you feel right now?
당했을 때
My condition wasn't really good.
많이 안 좋아서
We got one of these interviews.
오늘 떨어질 줄 알았는데
네.
좀
In the first match against ByuL,
네.
I was in a very bad
컨디션이
mood.
안 좋으셨을 거라고는 생각하지 못했던 게
I was thinking I might be
오늘 앞선
eliminated here.
경기와 또 승자전 모두
Can we call him
1세트 패배
based
이후
ByuL
완벽하게
because he's
상대를
wearing a baseball?
강화하면서
Yeah,
맞춰가는 플레이로
absolutely.
다 승리를
We have the power to do that.
네.
이거면 경기가 되게 잘 풀린다는 뜻 아니에요?
Here, both games, you lost the first and won 2 maps in a
제가
row.
하고 싶은 대로 해줘가지고
네.
되게 편하게 했어요.
아 그랬군요. 경기는 편했다.
Does that mean
확실히
you play the games how you
김도경
want?
선수 전도 그렇지만
네.
방금 이 테란전 상대와 거의 상성
Said actually my
수준이에요.
opponents
전적이.
played as I expected.
네.
모르셨어요? 만날 때마다 이기지
대충 알고는
않으셨어요?
있었어요. 제가 거의 다 이긴 것 같아가지고.
네. 오늘 특히 상대가 이렇게 컨트롤 요하는 빌드부터 해서
네.
이제 평소보다 더 빠르게 공격하는 스타일로 나왔는데 그런 부분이 당황스럽진 않으셨어요?
You know, when you met Ryung, you have a
근데
huge win
사람들이
rate against him.
다
Did you know about that?
그래가지고
Says I don't know the win rate, but I definitely know that I
자,
normally
김동현
beat him.
선수와의 그 첫 경기도 이야기를 해보겠습니다.
네.
그 말씀하셨던 그 여명
Let's talk about
굉장히
the first
장기전이었죠.
match
여기서
against
상대가
ByuL today.
평소와 완전히 다른 모습으로 수비형 프로토스로서 이렇게 나섰는데 그때
네.
딱 그 경기 하고 났을
It
때
went to
느낌이
the
어땠어요?
extreme late game.
그거 진 줄 알고 그냥
네.
상대 힘 빼게 하려고 그냥,
네.
그냥
For those
버틴
games,
거였어요.
how did you feel?
힘 뺀 이후에 이제는 이제 알겠다 어떻게 해야지 이런 모습 보여주셨습니다. 오늘 이렇게 좋은
It
경기력으로
felt like you almost
컨디션은 안
lost,
좋지만
but you kept holding on.
집중하게 됐는데 조지명식에 가게 됐어요.
Says, well,
항상
that
조지명
was
씨
my strategy. Let him use up most of his energy.
이번은 어때요?
대업이 우승을
Now
제가
they're talking about group
네.
nominations. Do you have any plans for that, ByuL?
50% 정도는 도와줬으니까
네.
대업이를 믿어야 될 것 같아요.
확실히 김대호 선수가
네.
이때는 날 도와줄 것 같다.
Says, well, I've helped stats a
확실히
lot in the
그러셔도 될 것
past.
같습니다. 자, 좋은 결실 이루면서 오늘 첫 번째
And
진출자가
since
됐습니다.
stats is going to be in
한마디 해볼까요?
control of the group trade,
최근에 경기가 너무 많아서
I believe in
시청
him.
관리가 되게
Any
힘들고
last words,
그랬는데
ByuL?
그래도 오늘이 제일 고비라고 생각했는데 이겨서 정말 기쁘고 내일 모레 있는 스타일.
Recently, I've been playing a ton of games, both
바로
online and
경기가
offline,
있으시더라고요.
네.
and that's making it hard for me to control my condition right now.
네, 축하드립니다.
But I'll keep trying
자, 먼저
to
이렇게
show better games in these matches.
16강에 올라간 한지원
And yeah, that's
선수를
definitely true. We have like 7 days of StarCraft a week right now, man. Between
Yeah.
VSL Team League, SSL, like all this stuff online with base trade, Elima League, stuff like that. It's crazy
If
how
you're a
many
pro,
matches.
you're very busy right now. Congrats to ByuL.
Yeah.
He did a very good job in that series.
Unbelievably good play.
I'm really excited to see how well Ryung is doing, but yeah, I mean, ByuL was the better player back there. He definitely did adapt.
Not surprised to see him get out first in the group. I think he's in just ridiculous shape, even though maybe he didn't show perfect games tonight. Showed that his level, if he survives for a little bit in a good shape, he's going to kill you.
We are going to go for a quick break. When we come back, the losers match in tonight's GSL Code S.
You, yeah.